Okay, guys, so we heard about the story down in what was it? It was
Arizona.
It was in Arizona. What city was it in, Boo?
I'm not sure what city. I just know Arizona, and the place was called Hacienda. So, a male nurse. Actually, the story broke about a month ago that a female patient who was comatose ended up delivering a baby that no one even knew about. So they didn't even know she was pregnant.
How did they not? Okay, so this is, okay, and I need you as a nurse to explain to me, how is it possible that she's inside of a home where she's receiving care daily? Somebody should be touching her daily. I don't know how many times, but how is it that they're able to go in there and look at her and not see her stomach growing?
I don't have an answer to that. I expect that she probably was overweight.
Okay.
Because being comatose, you're not active. You're in a state of just, your organs are still functioning, but your mind is really not there. So I'm thinking she got, she probably had a little bit of weight to her, but at the same time, it's an important reason why 2 physicians resigned before the DNA even came out. And because I think that they more so would be held liable for not knowing that a patient was pregnant.
Physician. Mm-hmm. Right. So we also know that the CEO of the company, or the main person of the company, resigned also, right?
Yes.
I forgot his name. And this is the second time that this has happened on his watch.
I believe so.
I'm sure so, because that's what I've read. Now,
Right.
Unless there's some other information to come out to say otherwise, that's exactly what I read.
Right.
So, so then let me ask you another question. When you were talking about maybe she was overweight, how could the patient be overweight if the facility is feeding her?
Well, but she's still getting fed. Probably she's getting fed not through, through a peg or whatever. So you don't know what weight she was. Something feeding through your stomach.
Okay.
So it's a tube that goes directly to your stomach and it feeds you through duodenum, your stomach. Mm-hmm. Those are terms out that folks not gonna know, or the jejunum. But they feed you through your stomach, so directly there. And I mean, even if she was overweight or wasn't, I think that they should have seen something.
So gross negligence.
Yes.
Okay.
Very severely gross negligence.
Because I'm like, how did it even get? Why didn't nobody say, y'all don't see this lady stomach
moving? But what I do know is they said when she delivered the baby, when the baby was born, mm-hmm. that they had to resuscitate the baby. So, she didn't get no prenatal care or anything through her pregnancy. Her family is taking care of this baby now. They're going to have to pay for this baby. Not the family, but this hospital.
Oh, of course.
Like, that's just...
And it's for that to be the second time that happened. That is disgusting, right?
Crazy. It should have been rules. Everywhere where you work is rules where male medical staff cannot be alone with female patients. So how he was alone...
Wait. So that is a huge point that you just said. Even though, for real, when you think about it, you can never go in the doctor's office and put your leg up in the air without being accompanied by a female, right?
Correct.
So, you eat my apple? That's your apple? Okay. So the question that I have, so the guy who has been arrested, because you told me this morning the young man's name is Nathan, right?
Nathan Sutherland.
There's no picture of him, correct?
Correct. I cannot find an image of this man.
Okay. Not even on Facebook?
Not even anywhere. And so I know he's an LPN. Mm-hmm. And it's
LPN.
And it strikes me odd. Why LPN, licensed practical nurse.
Okay, baby, I need you to always talk when we have these conversations.
Yes.
Like people are not
I have to break it down.
Okay. I always have this cuss Anthony Banks out like this. Anthony, goddamn, I hate that when y'all be talking. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? And sometimes I'll be like, baby, what is this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we know that he's an LPN. Right.
So, but I don't appreciate the fact that he's being protected. Yeah, you protect the victim, but in this case, let's see who he is, mm-hmm. and move forward. Obviously, they arrested him. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, he does not get any bond. He does not deserve bond, in my opinion.
Now, this is after. Remember, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, Boo, but you're saying things and I have questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first heard about the story, or when you first told me the story, you were like, they are testing all the males in the facility.
They did.
Okay. Now, is it something as a medical professional that you just have the right to test them, or can you deny testing? Like, what happens?
You couldn't refuse. You work in the facility, and this happened there. It's funny, not similar, but an incident happened at PG Hospital back. PG Hospital is Prince George's Hospital back from where we're from, PG County, Maryland. Mm-hmm. Somebody was murdered in the basement, and I think they found her the next day. And they collected all the DNA from all males. Anybody male that period worked in that hospital. They didn't collect any from any female, and they never caught the murderer actually of that person in the hospital. I just think when you sign your name on that paperwork, when you work for a facility, you give them right to, you give away certain rights.
Right. Like me peeing when I was working in the government. They just was like, "Bro, come on down here and piss in a cup."
That's right. If it's a random situation or things like that. But
is
this DNA, that's serious. And plus the police could put, they could have had warrants. You would know that more than me. They could have said, "Oh, I have a warrant for male DNA in a hospital," or
I'm such an ass. You won't have to get a warrant, goddamn it. Oh shit. Hold on, Bo. Okay, so we're back, but the process is like, just so we can go through it also, once that situation happens, you go before the board, or how does it work in situations like that?
You mean like this? Oh, he's going to lose his license. I don't even think he's going to make it before the board. Like if you have small offenses, I think misdemeanors and things like that, you might go before the board. You probably still go with a felony, but he's going to be in jail. He's going to lose his license. Something's going to happen, and I doubt if he even has to be present. But somebody probably works for the board that follows you, that knows better than you.
I do have people working for the board
they know.
that follow.
And this will be interesting. Please chime in. What is going to happen with this guy? He needs to lose his license immediately, but I think, of course we have certain rights, but now when you've had, this is gross negligence. He won't work anywhere ever again. Okay. Not as a nurse.
Because I've had a nurse on probation before, and she was trying to obtain her license back, but she had some felony drug charges against her.
That's different. So, because, people are human beings, and I think that companies work with nurses that have had those type of offenses in the past or what have you. She just got to find her right way or whatever. Mm-hmm. Companies have what we call, I don't know what EAP stands for, but a lot of major companies, federal government, it's not just medical, have EAP where
it's if you employee assistance program.
Yes, employee assistance program. Mm-hmm. So if you have an issue or whatever, you could just go talk with them. However, it's a before you in trouble situation, not really after. So
when you talk to EA,
right?
But I mean, but still, the board encompasses in what's that word? Human nature and human thing. But that right there, because so many times people do fucked up shit and then they end up working somewhere else. Right. That's what I question you about.
If he would have got away and they wouldn't have known, if he would have stopped working there, for instance, and they would have had to go through the records and really try, like if they kept terrible records and not really known who was working with her, but something tells me this happened. He didn't know she was pregnant, nothing, whatever, and he was just in line of fire because he still was working there as well. Mm-hmm. That's what happened, in my opinion. He was still working there
after it came out. After she was pregnant.
They didn't say or anything. The only people that they said resigned were two physicians and then the third person, the CEO stepped down. So in this whole story, they never said anything about any other nurses resigning or stepping down. So something tells me he was pretending through, to not be involved through this whole thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me see, because I don't want to talk to people. Okay, this last thing. The Hacienda, that was a nursing facility?
It has to be like a nursing home or a long-term care facility, and where you care for patients.
And they have designated doctors there, or do the doctors have privileges at other hospitals?
It's usually a designated physician who's a director, like the major MD that accepts patients. So he's like the director of the facility. And so maybe they have two of them, one on each shift, one for a 12-hour and then another one for a 12-hour shift. And they step down. You can't.
It's just too many people that touched that lady that could have been, that could have noticed. That's the thing. Like, you got patient care techs, you got all those different peoples could have noticed that.
Very true.
And why isn't that facility being shut down after that?
And they really need to have a flow of what was presented somewhere where their female patients are safe. Like, they know that a male has to come, has to be accompanied by a female into the room. Now, that's not to say that female patients haven't been assaulted maybe by other female providers and things like that. I don't want to leave people out or eliminate things. Right. But in a majority of the cases, it's a male provider, no matter what it is. Male provider,
A DDMF.
Doing this to
Do you know what that means?
A female patient.
DDMF, that means dirty dick motherfucker. And I had to put that
in. All kinds of sick people with this type of problems find a way to work somewhere where they will go unnoticed.
Where people are vulnerable.
That's right, vulnerable people. So you always have to...
Hold it, Clarence. Hold it, Clarence.
Come on now.
Baby. How was the family coming in there and not saying, why is my auntie's stomach getting big like this?
They might just not have noticed. It's easy. Listen, I know that some people know somebody in high school that you ain't know they was pregnant, then all of a sudden it was this whole baby, and you're like, what the? Like, it legit happens. And then there's women out there that say they just pregnant whole 8 months, 9 months, and then, hey, baby here. So, I don't know.
Let me cook your lunch. Bye, y'all. Bye. Hope y'all learned something today.